They killed, give me Isaiah 14 and 21. They did the same thing to my people. So you said that they put millions of my people. Should a murderer go to jail for murdering? Absolutely. Should a thief go to jail when he steals? Absolutely. Should a robber pay back the money he robbed? Absolutely. So why shouldn't the white man pay for what he did? That's right. That's right.
Expected to grow, just obstacles set in the road. That a result of me selling my soul. The story I'm telling is cold, but yet it's what everyone knows. The white man's the devil is known. America was never our home, only a place of captivity, safe facility, hating disfigure me. They claim that I'm lazy, be killing me. Maybe this slavery draining my energy. 400 years and counting, the trail of my tears is countless. Main fact that I'm here is astounding, but I can't wait till this shit is surrounded. Ready to tangle my king and the angels, be ready to rap. Cracking the sky, nuclear missiles and make it official. I'm capturing every cracker surviving. Put them all in chains where they need to be, slavery for me. And let the whole world see that with them in the cage and safer in the streets. Put the dog on a leash, get resolved for the beast. 144, get the ruler show, we could all be at peace. As soon as the trumpets are sound, your kingdom we busting it down. The only way justice is found, the time for your judgment is now.
Do you see just how it feels? Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a
Ain't no remorse in my blood slim. It won't be no compromise. Now it's time to feed the worms. Watch his body turn to flies. I clutch iron while you trust the lies. The next Glock I buy gon' be Gen 5. I get it customized. And sending shots off like farewell. Praying payback come back around like a carousel. Still remember your Honda's words ringing in my head like bells. Said you in this body, you fit the Lord, fuck the cartel. Triangle choke, apply pressure to the game like I did Vondale. Payback's a bitch in a dress, she a bombshell. Revenge is dish served cold, I just hope they make an oxtail. Glock fresh out the box, I swear it got that new car smell. Made myself a target in a world of mad shooters. That was designed fire for our babies to pass through it. In the day of our king's reign, I'll be overzealous. They bought my jealous, I bought brand new parabellums.
Do you see just how it feels? Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a
All right, this is Rudy Speech, man. We got Captain Tower in the building.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Cap, man, let us know where you from.
Yeah, I appreciate you. Having me, man, on Rudy Speech, man. Understand, I break it down right quick,
don't forget it. One West in my brain, one West in my heart, one West when I finish, one West when I start. Big shine, big glow. I be gone till November, let my bitch know. I'm back by the winter, bubbling like Crisco. I need my pockets all swollen like a lymph node. Talking out the side of your neck, get you a slit throat. I stay broke, don't care if I got a million. Looking down on me, I put your brains on the ceiling. Fuck kicking down the door, we bout to demo the building. Fake cats all in these groups, I wonder who ya. Shoot ya off your pulpit, hallelujah. 4-pound gun youngin' down like it's a cougar. On my feet, combat boots or is it Puma? Words spreading around about me, none of it rumor. All truth, Very big facts, very large caliber and very small gaps. Compact pistols, ladders, and all that. About to throw the switch in the Nina for rapid fire. Got the 5.7 equipped with the magnifier. Boom shakalaka equipped with the rim rocker. We ain't really got beef, yeah, Ramak would have been shot you. The best rhymer since Pac and Big Papa. Big llama, big juice, I'm Big Jamba. Quarter tank of gas, I ride like a big timer. No informer, no sweat, not inside my conglomerate wreck like King Konga. No Asian pun me, no chink in armor. Remain calm through our pain that bring drama. Stay focused on things that bring commas. Took all pressure, applied and made diamonds. Stayed true, kept shit pure, my name honored. Paid all dues and debts and kept promise. Make sure you show respect, pay homage. I'm one West bred, one West vetted, one West pumping through my blood, don't forget it. One West in my brain, one West in my heart. One West when I'm finished, one West when I start. I said I've been one West bred, one West vetted, one West pumping through my blood, don't forget it. One West in my brain, one West in my heart. One West when I'm finished, one West when I start. I'm the hottest on the market, don't make me start it. I'ma pull up in a Spider-Man and Peter Parker. I remember days was trapping out the apartment. Now one West about put me up in a starship. About to fly to friendly skies in this bitch. Spit the truth on the corners, I lie a little bit. I'm a stand-up nigga, I die before I switch. Down, no we up, I'm cool with who I with. I'ma be the king and stay dangerous. Hold down the biz and fam, remain blameless. Now rappers drippy with styles we made famous. First with studs and spikes in any city. Designers charge a stack for shit that can't fit me. Had friends on my coattail way before Jimmy. Funny how the general ain't even see a penny. Better show respect, get smoked like a chimney. Keep my name out your mouth, don't even think it. Send a real Smith at y'all, no Jada Pinkett. Both ball heads, my grain a $1.50. Lost my man to the game, that pain that stuck with me. Had to find a cheat code to the street though. Cause the niggas getting foul, shoot you like a free throw. Keep spitting acid like a Mino. And the nigga be the nicest with a mean flow. Try to ride my wave, you gon' need a speedboat. I'm hot like 100 degrees in a peacoat. Scarf in the sweater, I embark every letter. It's UPK, not a park, but together. Homie, I've been one West bred, one West vetted, one West pumping through my blood, don't forget it. One West in my brain, one West in my heart. One West when I'm finished, one West when I start. One West bred, one West vetted, one West pumping through my blood, don't forget it. One West in my brain, one West in my heart. One West when I'm finished, one West.
Hey, Shalom, y'all with me? Hey, Shalom, y'all will buy some y'all shop rock the thumb to the brothers watching. Y'all with Shamal the thumb by Shim, y'all with shop the sisters watching. This is the ISUPK. Started out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commander General Yohana. We teach that Blacks, Hispanics, and North American Indians are the chosen people of God. You tuned in. ISUPK Kentucky, man, under Commander General Yohana. And tonight is our Monday night history class. But before we get started, I want to make sure everybody's tuned into our weekly content. ISUPK Kentucky under Commander General Yohana. Of course, Monday night, you get yours truly every 9 p.m. Lord willing, you got the history class. Tuesday night, brotherhood class. Wednesday night, the podcast, Cry Out, Spare Not podcast. And Saturday morning, Sabbath service. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Saturday morning. So tonight, topic of tonight's class we finna get into is, are public schools the best option? Are public schools the best option? And there was a story I'm finna read y'all tonight. It's a story that happened right here in Louisville, Kentucky, man. Right here in Louisville, Kentucky, and kind of made me sick to my stomach reading about it. So We finna read this article. We're finna talk about some of the abuse that our children go through in these public school systems. And I'm gonna give you the history of the public school system, where it comes from, why it was implemented, and what it does for our people today. And of course, when I say our people, I mean Blacks, Hispanics, and North American Indians. So tonight, our public schools, the best option, ISUPK, Kentucky, under Commander General Ian Hunter. Let's work. So first, let's read about what just happened right here in Louisville, Kentucky. All right, I Am His Voice, hidden camera spurs allegations of abuse of a nonverbal child. So you have grown-ass adults. You have grown-ass adults abusing autistic children. You have grown-ass adults in JCPS abusing nonverbal autistic children. All right, after weeks of calls from her son's principal complaining of abusive behavior toward teachers, Tiffany Lee began to question if what she was being told was entirely true. Lee's son surmised an autistic, nonverbal, but behavior being reported to her did not match what she saw from him day to day at home. She felt something wasn't adding up. So she purchased a small camera, clipped it inside her son's ponytail, and sent him to school. She said what she later got on the recording is something no parent should ever have to see or hear. Our child was put in a situation where he was scared, overwhelmed, and powerless. And while this was happening, there were adults in the room who did nothing to stop it. So not only do you have children being abused in public schools by grown-ass supposed teachers, you have other people paying attention that didn't do anything to stop it. You've got other grown-ass people around and didn't do a thing to stop it. According to Lee, her son's primary teacher briefly left the ECE classroom, and the assistant teacher suddenly became aggressive toward him. In the video reviewed by Wave News, Lee's son is quiet up until his primary teacher leaves the room. Soon after the assistant can be heard making statements like, "Get off me, boy," and "Go away." As the video begins to move erratically, as the staff members continues his aggressive tone, Lee's sons begin stemming by clapping and then screaming, something his mom said he only does when he becomes agitated. We trusted his school to protect him, to care for him, and treat him with dignity. Instead, he was harmed, silenced, and failed by the people who were supposed to keep him safe. Again, this is how our children get treated in the public school system. All right, this is how our children get treated in the public school system. What I discovered on the camera footage is something no parent should ever have to see or hear. In addition to the comments directed at her son, Lee said another portion of the recording captured staff talking about smoking weed and edibles. So you have people that are supposed to be under the care of our children getting high. People that are supposed to be under the care of our children getting high. In a press conference Friday, Lee called for transparency and accountability. She wants to see if the involved staff members are terminated and a thorough investigation conducted. JCPS said the district is investigating the allegations, and JCPS police and CPS are involved. The staff member at the center of the allegations is currently not being allowed into the school building. So my question is, this is clearly abuse happening at school. If you have abuse happening at school, why is CPS being called? If the abuse is taking place at school and you have a parent trying to get down to the bottom of her nonverbal autistic son being abused at school, why is CPS getting involved? We deeply understand and respect the importance of transparency in all of our engagements. As we move forward, we will continue to take the appropriate necessary steps to ensure that accountability and awareness are the primary focus. Councilman Andrew Owen said the allegations are disturbing. And I want y'all to watch. If y'all could take a moment out of y'all's day and take a look at what's actually going on in JCPS. All right, Councilwoman Tammy Hawkins, who called the press conference, expressed concerns that the policies and procedures intended to protect students are not being followed. Hawkins said that since the videos were posted online, her office has received numerous phone calls and messages with stories stemming both from Field Elementary and other JCPS schools. Silence is not the face of abuse, and just to be quiet and keep going, it's you being complicit. My son has severe nonverbal autism. He cannot speak for his autism. He cannot speak, but I can. I am his voice, and I will speak for him, and this cannot stop with my son. So here's the thing. Like I said, this is what's happening to our children in JCPS. We have a vulnerable child. We have a nonverbal autistic child being abused at school by a damn teacher. Now, I pray that this woman, this mother, gets everything that she's got coming to her. But one thing I do know about JCPS, all right, currently employs internal staff attorneys and often contracts with external firms to manage its heavy litigation load. Since 2024, district attorneys have been involved in 41 lawsuits, meaning you have a good portion of attorneys in Louisville, Kentucky, that are currently defending JCPS. Meaning that more than likely, if you try to call an attorney for a lawsuit against JCPS, it's a good chance that they're currently defending JCPS and won't take the case because it'll be a conflict of interest. Again, since January 2024, district attorneys have been involved in 41 lawsuits. All right. Like I said, I hope this mother gets everything she's got coming to her. But like I said, with so many people tied up in defending JCPS, more than likely, any attorney she calls is already going to be defending them and won't take the case because it'll be a conflict of interest. Now, what's even worse is their pickup policy, their pickup list policy. All right, JCPS generally enforces the student pickup list policy for safety. But, now y'all, anybody knows me know how I feel about that word, but exceptions are made for rare emergencies and authorized temporary change documented in writing. So what they're saying is this is a gray area. When it comes to the student pickup policy at JCPS, it says they generally enforce it. But there's gray areas. There's exceptions. Are you kidding me? Are you telling me there's a fucking exception to the student pickup list policy? You got to be kidding me. You got to be kidding me. Let's work. All right. So like I said, we were going to talk about currently what's happening with JCPS. Then I'm finna give y'all the history of the public school system. This is the documented history of the public school system, why it was started, why it was implemented, why it doesn't help our children today. We finna get it in the Bible too. And I'm gonna give y'all another alternative to JCPS. All right, it's not commonly known. It's not a commonly known fact that the education system used in most of the world today is based upon the Prussian public education system, referred to as the Prussian model, introduced in the early 1800s for producing obedient soldiers. Now, if you're not familiar, Prussia was what Germany was called before Germany was called Germany. All right, Prussia is the old word for Germany. Prussia is the old name for Germany. So the public school system that we use today is based upon a German education system that was introduced in the early 1800s for producing obedient soldiers. All right, shortly after several defeats by Napoleon, Prussia's political and military elite came to the conclusion that independent thinking and the individualistic spirit amongst Prussian fighters and soldiers was in fact the root cause and contributing factor to their defeat. So what these elites in Germany did was they believed that independent thinking, the ability to think for yourself, the ability to think outside the box, is the contributing factor to them losing in war. Consequently, the elite began a program aimed at reducing aliveness, intelligence, and independent thinking in the majority of citizens. All right, the idea of this German brainwashing system was to get rid of intelligence and get rid of independent thinking in the majority of their citizens. And this is what America adopted. America adopted this same model in the public school system. The goal was to make the bulk of the population compliant servants rather than free individuals who could think freely. Again, this is called the Prussian model of education. Prussia is the old name for Germany. So this is German war indoctrination. And it was designed to make compliant servants instead of free thinkers. And this entire education system was adopted in America. All right, public primary schools were created by the states to reinforce obedience among the masses, maintain social order, rather than serve as a tool for upward social mobility. So public schools were designed to create obedience among the masses. Public schools were designed to make people that would not think for themselves. All right, the key prediction of the research is that when there are periods of internal conflict, states will introduce education reform that is designed to indoctrinate people to accept the status quo. All right, all the sources I'm pulling out today, you can look this up. This is the documented research on the history of the public school system. All right, this is the documented research on the history of the public school system. Here are some key features of the Prussian system: indoctrination, national curriculum, national testing, compulsory attendance, teacher authority, and focus on exams. Does any of this sound familiar to y'all? Anybody watching, I want y'all to think for a minute. Do any of these things sound familiar? Indoctrination, national curriculum, national testing, compulsory attendance, teacher authority, and focus on exams. All right, these were the key features of this German education system that was designed to make compliant servants out of the citizens. All right, early 19th century American educators were fascinated by the German educational trends. The Prussian approach was used, for example, in the Michigan Constitution of 1835, which fully embraced the Prussian system by introducing a range of primary schools, secondary schools, and the University of Michigan, all administered by the state and supported with tax-based funding. 1843, Horace Mann, we'll talk about him briefly now and briefly toward the end of class. All right, 1843, Horace Mann traveled to Germany to investigate how the educational process worked. Upon his return to the United States, he incorporated his experiences in his advocacy for the common school movement in Massachusetts. The system of education that we use in the United States is called the Prussian model. Born of Prussia's military failings in the Napoleonic Wars, the German kingdom developed an education system designed to indoctrinate children. All right, this is not conspiracy theory. This is the actual documented history of the public school system. All right, the United States got its idea for public schools from a German system designed to indoctrinate children. And again, it's designed to make compliant servants. Now, Johann Fitch, all right, he influenced the Prussian education system, which became a model for compulsory education, early 19th century. He advocated for a national system of education aimed at fostering a sense of national identity. And they do the same thing in public schools today. When they, if anybody's old enough to remember, pledging allegiance to the flag. If anybody in school learned American exceptionalism. All right, if anybody ever pledged allegiance to the flag when they were at school, if anybody learned American exceptionalism, all of this comes from a German education system. All right, he advocated for a national system of education aimed at fostering a sense of national identity. Johann Fitch is widely regarded as one of the fathers of German nationalism. Now, German nationalism, he also laid the foundation for German nationalism, which later played a significant role in the rise of National Socialism. So the person involved in creating this German system of education, the most influential person in creating this German system of public education, was also the founder of National Socialism. Now, what's National Socialism? Nazism. All right, National Socialism is another word for Nazism. All right, so Nazism and the public school system all have the same origin. All right, Nazism and the public school system all have the very same origin. And it's no wonder that we learn Nazi propaganda in public schools. It's no wonder that we learn Nazi propaganda in American society. Well, what do you mean, priest? Things like abortions. Things like abortions being referred to as a human right. All right, that's Nazi propaganda. All right, things like atheism. All right, atheism was Nazi propaganda. All right, it's no wonder that we learn Nazi indoctrination in America today because it's pumped through our public school system. All right, again, Nazism and the public school system all have the same origin. All right, school to prison pipeline. Policies that encourage police presence at schools, harsh tactics including physical restraint and automatic punishment that result in suspension and out-of-time class are huge contributors to the pipeline. It says including physical restraint. Did y'all see that video? I think it happened like 3-4 weeks ago. It happened like 3 or 4 weeks ago when this officer at this school body slammed this 13-year-old girl. I'm talking about picked her off the ground and body slammed her on the concrete. All right, this full grown ass man picked up a 13-year-old girl and body slammed her on the concrete. All right, harsh tactics including physical restraint, automatic punishments that result in suspensions and out of class time are huge contributors to the pipeline. Who's in the pipeline? Students from two groups, racial minorities and children with disabilities. Did we not just read an article about this nonverbal autistic child being abused in the public school system? All right, students from two groups, racial minorities and children with disabilities, are disproportionately represented in the school to prison pipeline. Black students, for instance, are 3.5 times more likely than their white classmates to be suspended or expelled, according to a nationwide study. Black students are 3.5 times more likely than their white classmates to be suspended or expelled. Black children constitute 18% of students, but 46% of those suspended more than once. According to the U.S. Department of Justice, the number of school resource officers rose 38% between 1997 and 2007. In 10 years, the number of officers on school campuses rose 38%. All right, this surge in police on campus has helped criminalize many students and fuel the pipeline. 2005 study found that children are far more likely to be arrested at school than they were a generation ago. The vast majority of these arrests are for nonviolent offenses. In most cases, the children are simply being disrupted. At a recent U.S. Department of Education study found that more than 70% of students arrested in school-related incidents are referred to by law enforcement are Black or Hispanic. 70% of students arrested in school-related incidents or referred to law enforcement are Black or Hispanic. So we're talking about racial minorities and children with disabilities. All right, zero tolerance policies, which set the one-size-fits-all punishment for a variety of behaviors that fed this trend. So what they're trying to do, all right, what they're trying to do is fill up the prison system. So we talked about Horace Mann, all right, known as the father of American education. Now, we already read how he got his idea from German indoctrination. All right, German war indoctrination. And this indoctrination was to create servants out of the masses of people. Servants out of the masses of people and people that couldn't think freely. All right, he's known as the father of American education. He's quoted as saying, jails and prisons are the complement of schools. Now, this is the person known as the father of American education. The father of the American public school system said jails and prisons are complements of schools. And it's no wonder that our children, Black and Hispanic children, and children with disabilities are the ones filling this pipeline. All right. They are getting our children ready for jails and prisons. All right. 1830s, Horace Mann, a Massachusetts legislator and Secretary of State Board of Education, began to advocate for the creation of public schools that would be universally available to all children, free of charge and funded by the state. A Whig Party politician known for his commitment to public education, he is known as the father of American education. Now, here's the problem. In the U.S., many of the same people who design prisons also design schools. What comes to mind when you see a long hall of closed doors that you can't be in without permission, and a bell that tells you when to come and when to go, when class starts, when it ends? What does that look like to you? All right, schools are designed to look just like jails and prisons. Schools are designed to look just like jails and prisons because they're getting our children prepared to go to jail and prison. They're making compliant servants out of our children to get them prepared for jail and prison. All right, this is what the public school system was designed to do. This is what the public school system was designed to do when slavery was abolished in 1865. All right, this is what public schools were designed to do for our children. All right, credit the problem of mass incarceration, a term used to describe the fact that the United States incarcerates more of its people, disproportionately Black, than any other country in the world. The United States incarcerates more of its people than any other country in the world. And the school system gets us ready for it. All right, Edmund Dwight, a major industrialist who supported Horace Mann and personally funded the salary for the Massachusetts Board of Education because he believed state-controlled schooling was vital for factory owners. So the person that funded the whole thing wasn't even an educator. Think about that for a second. The person that funded this project wasn't even a teacher. The person that funded this project was a factory owner. I don't think I'll understand what I'm saying. The person that funded this project was a factory owner. So either A, we're set up to go to jail or prison, or break our back in some factory and not think twice of it, because the whole educational system was designed to create brainless, mindless servants that can't think for themselves, that can't think outside the box. So for those of us that don't go to jail or prison, we can look forward to breaking our back in some factory until we die. Prison, jail, or breaking our damn back in some factory until we're dead. This was the design of the whole thing. All right. Now, what's taught? What's taught in public schools? All right, McGraw-Hill. McGraw-Hill education was created by a New York school teacher in 1888 and has grown to be one of the largest providers of educational materials. If you're not familiar, McGraw-Hill is one of the largest textbook companies in the United States. If your child goes to public school, this is what he or she is reading from. If your child goes to public school, 8 times out of 10, they're learning from a McGraw-Hill textbook. October 2015, McGraw-Hill Education was accused of whitewashing history after it published a caption in a geography textbook referring to slaves as workers. 2015, McGraw-Hill Education accused of whitewashing history after it published a textbook referring to slaves as workers. They're trying to change American history. They're trying to change American history right in front of our children's faces. They want to change the history of America right in front of our children's faces. And 1968 CIA document confirms that Edward E. Boer, named chairman of McGraw-Hill Book Company. Why is the chairman of a textbook company mentioned in a CIA document? Why is the chairman of a textbook company mentioned in a CIA document? All right, anybody want to read it? Freedom of Information Act, they can check this out. It's documented. Now, the media publishers units to merge McGraw-Hill and Maxwell to merge units. All right, media lord Robert Maxwell has agreed to combine his educational publishing business with McGraw-Hill. Under a joint venture agreement announced Wednesday, McGraw-Hill and Maxwell's Maximilian Incorporated will combine the elementary, secondary, and vocational educational businesses. So, this man had an interest in public school textbooks. All right, there was a merger between his company and McGraw-Hill. Now, why would this person have an interest in American education? All right, Robert Maxwell, a British media tycoon and member of parliament who operated as a secret intelligence operative for multiple agencies throughout his life. So we're talking about British intelligence. We're talking about the British version of the American CIA. Why would this person have an interest in American education? Robert Maxwell merged his company with McGraw-Hill textbooks. Again, if your children go to public school, it's an 8 out of 10 chance that he or she is reading and learning from McGraw-Hill textbooks. Why would somebody in British intelligence, why would they have an interest in American education? All right, declassified files and various investigative biographies suggest his espionage career included British, Soviet, and Israeli intelligence. Again, why would he have an interest in American education? Now, if you didn't know, Robert Maxwell is the father of Ghislaine Maxwell. Robert Maxwell, the person that merged his company with McGraw-Hill. Again, McGraw-Hill is the largest mass producer of textbooks in the United States. And Robert Maxwell has an interest in American education. Again, he merged his company with McGraw-Hill. McGraw-Hill is the largest mass producer of textbooks in the United States. And he's the father of Ghislaine Maxwell. Now, who is she? She's the one that got sent up to prison for 20 years for conspiring with Jeffrey Epstein. She was the one responsible for getting them underage children to go on that island with Jeffrey Epstein. All right, Ghislaine Maxwell is sentenced to 20 years in prison for conspiring with Jeffrey Epstein to, I don't know if we can say this word online, to abuse minors. All right, Damian Williams, United States Attorney for the District of New York, announced that Ghislaine Maxwell was sentenced today in the Manhattan Federal Court by United States Circuit Judge Allison J. Nathan for 240 months in prison for her role in a scheme to exploit and abuse multiple minor girls with Jeffrey Epstein over the course of a decade. And her father merged his company with McGraw-Hill. Again, McGraw-Hill is the largest producer of textbooks in the United States that our children are reading from today. She was convicted after a month-long jury trial for conspiracy to entice minors, to travel to engage in illegal acts, conspiracy to transport minors, to participate in illegal acts, transporting a minor to participate in illegal acts, trafficking conspiracy, and trafficking of a minor. Again, what are these people? Why do these people have an interest in the education of our children? Is it clicking now? They have an interest in the education of our children because these people were convicted of trafficking children. All right, it goes this deep. But it gets worse. There's Ghislaine Maxwell on the left, hugged up with Chris Tucker. Epstein also had close ties to Israeli intelligence. All right, just like Ghislaine Maxwell's father. LifeTouch, one of the largest providers of school photography services in the United States, has come into focus since the newly released Epstein files was made public by the U.S. Department of Justice. LifeTouch operates in tens of thousands of schools each year, photographing millions of children and storing those images digitally. The company is owned by Shutterfly, which was acquired in 2019 by Apollo Global Management. And Apollo was co-founded by Leon Black, a billionaire financier who stepped down as chief executive in 2021 following scrutiny for his ties with Jeffrey Epstein. So not only do these people have a vested interest in the education of our children, they also own the company that takes the goddamn pictures on picture day. Is it clicking for y'all yet? Let's work. Now, I said I'd give y'all an alternative. Now, this might not be for everybody. You might have to find out your own alternative to this thing. All right, homeschooling, highly flexible and far less daunting than most people realize. With countless open and go curricula, the freedom to learn at your child's own pace. You do not need a teaching degree to provide a high quality personalized education. Kentucky law requires a minimum of 1,062 hours per school year. Parent qualifications. Kentucky homeschool laws do not outline any requirements for parents who wish to homeschool. Notice of intent. When you begin homeschooling in Kentucky, you're required to send a notice of intent to the Board of Education. It's due within 2 weeks of school starting or with 10 days of homeschool in the middle of the year. And this is the curriculum. These are the requirements. Reading, writing, spelling, grammar, history, math, science, and civics. All right, record keeping. Homeschooling parents in Kentucky are required to keep both attendance and academic records. They are not required to submit them to the state. Academic records should be kept at a minimum, a list of courses taken, final grades, and scholarships your child has received. And you have companies that'll take care of the record keeping for you. All right, homeschool families in Kentucky must teach as long as their local public school teaches at a minimum. This is typically at 1,062 hours. All right, over the minimum of 170 school days. All right, but 1,062 hours. I know a lot of people say, well, you know, we're busy, we don't have time. All right, let me show y'all something real quick. Now, there's 365 days in a year. And let's just say 340. If you divide that 1062, and let's just say 340 days out of the year, that's 3 hours a day. It's 3 hours a day. 3 hours a day out of our busy schedule to keep something from happening, like that child, that nonverbal autistic child that was abused in JCPS. 3 hours out of our day. All right, families who live in a zone with year-round school district, the minimum is 185. However, homeschooling families can choose to reach this requirement in the way that works best for their family. Those 1,065 hours, you can get them in however throughout the year. There are no standardized tests required for Kentucky homeschool students. However, college-bound students should still plan to take the SAT or ACT. All right, but there's no standardized test. All right. So like I said, I'd give y'all an alternative. I know it's not for everybody. But if you're serious about looking into other alternatives than a public school system that abuses our children, or a public school system that was designed to make compliant servants, a school system that was designed to send our children directly to jail and prison. And if they're blessed enough to bypass jail and prison, they get to look forward to breaking their back in a factory for the rest of their damn life. All right, let's drop that. Let's get into the Bible before we finish this out. We'll go to the book of Deuteronomy. All right, let me get here with y'all. Let me get right here with y'all. All right, the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, 32. Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given to another people, and thine eyes shall look and fail with longing for them all the day long, and there shall be no might in thine hand. And that's a fact. That's exactly what happened. Our children, all right, the Lord's chosen, our children, our sons and daughters are given to another people. When we put our children in these people's hands for 7-8 hours a day, there's no telling what they go through. There's no telling. Again, we read an article at the beginning of class. Where a nonverbal autistic child was being abused by a teacher. Was being abused by a damn teacher. And it says, there shall be no might in thine hand. Meaning that we don't think it's any way out of it. It says, there shall be no might in thine hand. Meaning we don't think there's any alternative. We think that there's no other option. We think that we're too busy to do anything about it. And we just hope nothing happens to our children. That's what it means when it says there shall be no might in thine hand. All right, let's drop that. Let's go to Proverbs 22 and 6. Proverbs 22 and 6. Train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he shall not depart from it. All right, it's our job to educate these babies. All right, it's our job to educate these babies from the beginning. All right, it's our job to educate these children. It says, train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he shall not depart from it. All right, let's drop that. Let's go to the book of Isaiah. The book of Isaiah, chapter 28, verse 9. shall he teach knowledge? And whom shall he make to understand doctrine? Them that are weaned from the milk and drawn from the breast. All right, so who should we be educating? All right, who should we be passing down the wealth of information from the previous generation? All right, to our children, the ones that are weaned from the milk and drawn from the breast. All right, our babies. All right, we're the ones that's supposed to pass down everything that we learned in our generation. All right, we're supposed to be passing this down. We see what happens when we put our children in somebody else's hands. Our nonverbal, autistic children get abused by teachers. That's what happens. All right, let's drop that. Let's go to Deuteronomy 6 and 7. Deuteronomy 6 and 7. And thou shalt teach them diligently unto thy children, and thou shalt talk of them when thou sittest in that house, and when thou walkest by the way, and when thou liest down, and when thou risest up. All right, we're supposed to be teaching our children every minute of the day. Every minute of the day, we should be instructing them in something. All right, and thou shalt teach them diligently unto thy children, and thou shalt talk of them when thou sittest in thine house, when thou walkest by the way, when thou liest down, and when thou risest up. All right, we're supposed to be educating our children. We're supposed to be giving game to our children every minute of the day. All right, let's drop that last scripture, John 3 and 14. John 3 and 14. I have no greater joy than to hear that my children walk in truth. And that should be the greatest joy of any man. That should be the greatest joy of any man. All right. To hear that my children walk in truth. To know that my children are going to be better than me. All right. There's no greater joy than that. To hear that my children walk in truth. All right. So with that, appreciate y'all hanging out with me, man. Soaking up some of this game. Of course, Monday night history class. I'll be with y'all every Monday, Lord willing, every Monday night. Tuesday night, brotherhood class, 7 o'clock. Wednesday night, the podcast, 9 p.m. Saturday morning, Sabbath service, 10 a.m. And if y'all ain't got my book yet, I don't know what y'all doing. I don't know what the hell y'all doing. If y'all ain't got my book, I don't know what y'all doing. But there's a few copies left. Anybody interested, inbox me. I'll get you the details for it. But with that, we'll go ahead and end it. We'll do one courtesy, Salakia. We'll do the security announcements. All right, the ISUPK started out of 1 West, 125th Street. Rule for new brother or sister. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They're to be saluted only. They're here to share themselves with the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. Another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes a commandment. Numbers 18:21, Malachi 3:8-10, a tenth in the Hebrew. Priest fund, free will offering, not mandatory. Upcoming holy convocations. We're still currently in the feast of first fruits until Sunday, May 31st. With that, we'll do one courtesy salute. Shalom. Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Barakatham to the brothers watching. Shalom Yahweh Shamar Atham Salakia. Yahweh Shamar Atham Bashem Yahweh Shai. The sisters watching. ISUPK Kentucky under Commander General Yohana. With that, class dismissed.
jazz, love fame. I want war, got the same. Fuck wrong. Fuck wrong, nigga. Fuck wrong. I tell them, nigga. Fuck wrong. You get your shit together, nigga. Fuck wrong. Work. I'ma do this shit till I rock it, you little body bitch. I'ma judge your ass like your pot, you little body bitch. And I smooth with it, young Zoc, you little body. And I switch, ain't gon' know your thought, you little body bitch. And I'ma stay turning like the cars, you little body bitch. And I'm stone cold like a bond, you little body bitch. And I'm war like a bar, you little body bitch. And my bitch, or anyone down the slide, you little body bitch. Yeah. I keep a couple straps in my ride, you little body bitch. Just in case anyone wanna die, cause I'm bad. I got it, be right. You mad, get stained, work hard, get play. Bad bitch, my taste, we vibe, we late, we purple. Okay, you lit ass, love fame, I want war, not the same. Fuck wrong.
I don't give a love to fuck about what them bitches gotta say. I'm a woman where's a nigga till he put me in the grave. I don't give a love to fuck about what them niggas gotta say. I'm a woman where's a nigga till he put me in the grave. I don't care about what they say. Hey. Fuck with my Akima, fuck with my sisters, then I got a problem, I'm never gonna miss you. I got 100 hanging out the AR, I got a 50 hanging out the pistol. He say it's corner, I'm just being realistic. I be on them corner posted with the realest. If it's the Sabbath, then we gon' fish and I'm reeling them in. That's a God-given mission. I'm really on 10, but I'm stamped in the pistol. I get the order, be glad to dismiss you. Hebrew Academy graduate, nigga. Training, go through the baddest conditions. I don't fuck with none but the baddest of bitches. She righteous, submissive, she glad to be with me. Had that thing Putin like Batman, nigga. She know I'm a prophet, she glad to be listening. I ain't having that shit, tell her go make some business from scratch. She bitchin' a different breed of black men. We don't do that thing. I remember back when I was really trapping, trying to get the racks in, selling dope to black men. But now I'm trying to make it straight, like don't forget about my face. We sitting up straight, can't fold us. Too heavy, the world won't hold us. Go get you some rank, I told you. Line up in these ranks, we soldier. You can take that to the bank, we focus on. How many times must we remind you? One body, one rest, some break off and never take off as a flex. When the law with you ain't no up next, it's just us, nigga, that's that on that. All that weak shit, that ain't no threat. Say you won't beat, bitch, with that ain't no sweat. We with all that. The Lord called a nigga out the world, I responded and called back. Oh Lord, and everything that they stole from us, fuck that shit, we want all that. Them niggas snitching and they act like bitches. That's why we unaffiliated with them. They killing women and they fuck with sisters. That's why we unaffiliated with them. They telling lies, switching up the doctrine. That's why we unaffiliated with them. They ain't gon' ride until they die, so that's why we unaffiliated with them. Come under command and general, your hunter, we unaffiliated with them. Like when they tongue and they say they keep that shit 100, we unaffiliated with them. They telling lies, switching up the doctrine, that's why we unaffiliated with them. They ain't gon' ride until they die, so that's why we unaffiliated with them. That's why we unaffiliated with them. I cannot fuck around with fake niggas. We taking ground when we in your city. You better hide the women, hide the liquor. Keep that bitch on me, please don't but the same. Don't be a fool and be another victim. Say you a goon, you just another Christian. How you my brother, you ain't in here with me. In the gutter, deep down in the trenches. We with them niggas locked up in the prison. Black and Hispanic, Native American, Indian. We ain't just talking shit, but we living in it. We be everywhere, you can't miss it. And we be precious hell, take a picture. And we professional with the scriptures. Play, we gon' script from yeah, we some killers. Dealing nigga tripping, they mind blown. Swear business, forgive me if I'm wrong. I don't get it pause when niggas say that they be looking for niggas to slide on. The only slide that I know about is when I assemble the Glock with the slide on. Real, I get the harder, you know that it's slaughter. See me and my niggas gon' die. The bigger the better for kingdom of heaven. You niggas get wet up by me cause I'm fed up. I rep UPK. My niggas won't let up. Got choppers, got nines, AKs, Berettas. You say you don't like me, you say you won't fight with what me and my nigga like, bitch, it whatever. You say you don't like me, you say you won't fight with what me and my nigga like. My nigga like. Them niggas snitching and they act like bitches. That's why we unaffiliated with them. They killing women and they fuck with sisters. That's why we unaffiliated with them. They telling lies, switching up the doctrine. That's why we unaffiliated with them. They ain't gon' ride until they die, so that's why we unaffiliated with them. Come on the commanding general, your honor, we unaffiliated with them. Like they tongue and they say they keep that shit 100, we unaffiliated with them. They telling lies, switching up the doctrine, that's why we unaffiliated with them. They ain't gon' ride until they die, so that's why we unaffiliated with them, yeah. See, they always ask us like, why y'all fuck with such and such? Why y'all won't come together with such and such? I be like, we unaffiliated with them. Understand me, like, niggas be out here on some weirdo shit. And to be honest, that's why we unaffiliated with them. Hey, 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 that's why we unaffiliated with them, yeah.